live here to Homer Bryce Stadium tonight, home of the Lumberjacks. It's homecoming 2024, and for the first time since 2018, these two teams, Stephen F. Austin and the Houston Christian Huskies, are meeting. I'm Chris Simmons, joined with my partner tonight here on the air, as always, Courtney Garcia. And Courtney, tonight is a matchup between a dominant SFA passing attack versus a Houston Christian passing defense that's been very good this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Houston Christian is one of the top defenses in the Southland Conference with getting takeaways, interceptions. And SFA, on the other hand, is one of the most efficient passing attacks when Sam Vidlak gets the ball to his receivers in space, and they're one of the most prolific passing attacks in the FCS.
It's homecoming. It's a ton of fun. A lot of people here tonight getting to come back and see a lot of alma mater here, and we are ready to bring you the action tonight here on ESPN+. Both of these squads coming off of losses to Southeastern Louisiana. For Houston Christian 2 weeks ago, it was a 37-7 loss. For SFA, it was a closer score, but same result, a 24-23 last minute of the game drive. Last minute of the game drive that cost them the ball game. So they're both looking to get back in the win column. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have our standings. We'll show you here in just a second for conference right after kickoff, because we're right in the thick of Southland Conference play. Southeastern Louisiana at the top, followed by Incarnate Word Stephen F. Austin. Stephen F. Austin on the outside looking in right now when it comes to the playoff picture, but a win can help them. And then Houston Christian, they're right in the middle of the pack too, staying dangerous. Kickoff is ready. The cannons are off, and it is a touchback to start this one off here, Courtney. It is going to be Houston Christian starting off on the offensive attack. And Courtney, they love to run the football.
Yeah, absolutely. They're second in rushing offense in the Southland Conference, and they're one of the most. They're gonna. I'll say this: if they run the ball in their wins, they've ran the ball 50+ times.
Yeah.
So that is what they want to do. They want to run. They want to play smash mouth football, and they want to go at this defense for SFA.
Yeah, they're going to be led by primarily a running attack from their quarterback, Eli Brickhandler. We will see a lot of different stuff. Also, we'll see C.J. Rogers at the helm. He takes the first snap for the Huskies. A swing pass over to the right is caught. It's complete for a gain of about 2 on the play. SFA, a prolific offense, also a prolific defense, and a lot of high rankings for what they've done this year so far. Nationally recognized as one of the best offenses in the country. Yeah,
this defense can get after it, and it starts with the front seven. They get after the passer, they get tackles for loss, and their secondary flies around.
Rogers takes the snap once again, looking to his right on the screen pass. It's bobbled, but ended up being received, caught by A.J. Wilson, the number 2 receiver on this Husky squad this season. Wilson with 230 yards, entering the night, 2 touchdowns to his credit. And Courtney, as you could tell early on, the offenses are going to work quick. You might see both teams tonight end up with 15, 16 possessions, because they love to snap the ball very, very quick as Rogers runs out of bounds after a minimal gain here on first down.
Yeah, and I think, and when you look deeper into the stats, this team from Houston Christian is second in tempo.
Yeah.
On offense in the FCS. And don't get me wrong, SFA's offense is ranked 5th in the FCS. So like he said there, it's going to be a fast-paced game for both of these offenses.
Second down and 10 coming up here for the Huskies. They'll put a man in motion. That's Wilson. Wow. Run play goes absolutely nowhere, blowing up the play for the SFA defense. Jaheim Mullen, he kind of does a little bit of everything. 3 interceptions this year, a forced fumble and fumble recovery. He's a dynamite stick for this SFA defense.
Yeah, absolutely. He comes into this game with 27 tackles and 16 solo tackles. So he's a guy from that safety position for SFA that flies around.
Third down and 12 coming up. Rogers taking a little more time than he has here most of the night, under a ton of pressure, and he will be sacked right away. Luke Watson bringing him to the ground. It'll create a 4th down and long situation for Houston Christian, and here comes the punt squad.
And you see that SFA on the replay bringing more than the offensive line for Houston Christian can handle, and Watson gets back there in a hurry, not allowing the quarterback to have any time.
Reed Chanley back to do the punting. Back to receive it for SFA, Cannon Lindbergh. The punt is away. It's a low line driving kick, received at the 32-yard line of SFA. That's where the Lumberjacks will kickstart their offense. And Sam Vidlak, there's so much to be said about Vidlak. He is he leads the top passing offense in all the Southland Conference. He's got 21 passing touchdowns this season to the Lumberjacks, but he's number 2 in the conference, number 9 in FCS in passing yards alone. This kid is throwing the ball really, really well this season.
Yeah, and coming in with the expectations from transferring in from Montana, he was a prolific quarterback coming from there over to SFA, and he's just upped this game to another level. You got to give credit to our offensive staff here at SFA for getting him prepared to come out here and put on a show night in, night out.
Run to start things off here. A gain of about 5 on the play for the Lumberjacks, and that's Jalen Jenkins, who he has large shoes to fill here tonight, Courtney. It is a, listen, when you lose Quaylon Jones, he's out with injury. Hopefully we'll be back very soon, but he's the number 3 rusher in all of the conference. Jenkins is going to have to fill in a big spot, and he's proven that he can do that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's 7th in rushing in the conference.
Swing pass out to Harris. We'll get a cross for a first down.
And there's a guy in Kylan Harris. He's 2nd in the Southland Conference in receiving, and he surpassed 1,000 career yards receiving versus Northern Colorado earlier in the season. So he's a big-time receiver for this offense.
So first down and 10. A gain for 2 yards on the play. We'll make it 2nd down and 8 coming up for Stephen F. Austin. Well, here early on in quick tempo once again. 2nd down and 10 coming up. Vidlac working with a wide receiver to his left. Jenkins will get the carry, works up the middle. He'll fight his way through. And Stephen F. Austin, the passing game is extremely strong, but the rushing game is equally as strong in this one. So it's really interesting to see. It's the we're playing against the worst rushing defense in all the Southland Conference. So Stephen F. Austin, the run game will be very important today.
Wow.
Yeah, as Kylan Harris gets lit up on that one. A nice wrap up and tackle made on the play by the Husky defenders. Yeah, that's Kari Crump.
And he's 4th in the Southland Conference in interceptions. So that's the thing that this team looks for. They look for takeaways. And so they, as you see here, getting off the block and just blowing up the screenplay for Stephen F. Austin.
So 4th down coming up and 8 to go. Looks like we're going for it. Might be actually 4th and 7 here. The Huskies anticipating punt. Stephen F. Austin thought about taking the snap. Maybe they were just trying to draw the penalty, make it a 4th and short situation, but Vidlac walking away from center. And it was all a bluff on that one, so the punt squad coming out soon. For this Stephen F. Austin offense. And so both teams offensively, no points put up on the board on the opening drives. And Courtney, if anything, we've seen that the tempo, though, points or not, it's going to be very quick. How's that going to affect the defenses tonight?
It affects them by getting in their calls. I mean, that tempo, if they get that tempo going, they continue to get first downs. The defense can sometimes be out of position, out of sorts. So getting in those calls fast for both of these defenses are going to be key.
Late arriving defenders on the field. Punt coming from Eddings. Eddings will send it high in the air, bouncing on the 2 and rolling the end zone for a touchback. Nice job by the receiver to bluff everybody on where that was coming in at. Both teams received the ball. We're taking a break, and we'll be right back here on ESPN+. Welcome back here to Homer Bryce. This homecoming 2024 second drive of the game coming up for the Husky offense. They'll put a man in motion. They fake the handoff. Instead, the quarterback, Eli Brickhandler, we figured we would see him today. The ball came out at the end. I think he was down, though, prior to it coming out. Brickhandler, we're going to see a 2-quarterback attack here from this Houston Christian Husky squad. Well, Brickhandler, he's the runner. This year, one rushing touchdown, 233 yards, a 22-yard long run. So between him, when he's in the game, they become much more one-dimensional, and they're kind of unapologetic about it. So Brickhandler will take the snap, and on cue, will swing it out to his right with the pass. Pass bobbled by Champ Dozier, the freshman from Dallas, Texas. Misses that one. 3rd down coming up. 3rd down and about 6 to go for Houston Christian.
And you can see here early that this Houston Christian offense is really trying to get to the outside and really get away from that front 7 we were talking about pregame with SFA. They have a stout, look at them now. You see they have a very stout front 7. So Houston Christian is trying to spread them out a little bit before they go back to the run.
Dozier in motion. Brick handler under some pressure, under duress, throws one up. It's a lob that falls incomplete. Trayshawn Adams helped finish it off, but the initial coverage by Charles Dimmings, who was a game-time decision tonight. Didn't know if we get to see him or not. Good to see him in coverage, and a strong defensive attack there for him.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just that was a risky throw for the quarterback to throw. You see it here, trying to throw it on the run, getting hit, and throwing it into double coverage. That's not a recipe for success for Houston Christian.
So 4th and long coming up. Another punt now. Will be the 3rd punt that we've seen between both teams this game. Here on 4th and 6. Chanley, the punter, receives the snap, gets the punt away. High punt lands at the SFA 30. On the return up to the 40-yard line is where Stephen F. Austin will start. And Houston Christian having a little extra fun over on the sidelines after the tackle. The pushing and shoving and the extracurricular happening on the sideline. Honestly, has to be expected between two teams. Courtney, we knew 4 hours before the game started the intensity in this one was high. We knew that coming into it, and and we're seeing it make its display here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It was some big, as you would expect. This is in-state opponents coming here in Nacogdoches, Texas. We saw it pregame. They were chirpy, a little chirpy, and that's what you expect in this game, a chippy game.
We have some keys to this one that we've talked about a little bit on Houston Christian side. They're going to be looking to establish the run. Also, they have to make the play, all caps on the, because I don't know how many opportunities they're going to get tonight, but when they get the chance, they better make it. For SFA, we've seen it early on, defensive pressure, and then also continuing to adapt their policy of whatever it takes to get the win. That's where Stephen F. Austin is at. I mean, look just down the field. There is physicality all over this football on the run there for the Lumberjacks. But these two teams, yeah, they're going to be going at it. This is Southland Conference football. Both of them technically right, towards the middle of the pack, and it's going to be physical. There's a lot on the line here tonight for both of these teams.
Yes, must win,
yeah.
Especially if you're Stephen F. Austin, you have some big-time opponents, which I know Houston Christian has some big-time opponents as well. It's a must-win for both teams.
On the swing pass, it's Lindo making the catch. He'll be thrown out of bounds after a gain of 4 on the play.
And that's where this SFA offense can be lethal, because they have some amazing receiver talent that can get out in space and make a play. Is when they get the tight end involved and Lindo, that's where it gets hectic and figuring out who to stop on this Stephen F. Austin offense.
3rd down and 3 coming up for Stephen F. Austin. 3rd and short situation. Stephen F. Austin, a 40% conversion rate on 3rd down. However, Houston Christian's defense allowing conversions on 43% this year. That is the worst ranking in Southland Conference on 3rd down conversions. 3rd and short, handoff going to Jenkins, bouncing on the outside, but going absolutely
what closing speed.
Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere there. The Huskies were there to swallow that one up. DJ Harris on the tackle.
Oh, just amazing closing speed on that outside run.
So both teams now will have punted twice. Neither coach wanted to see 2 punts to start this one off, because they're offensive powerhouses. They love to attack and strike early. However, early on in this one, not the offensive juggernaut. That's more of a defensive show, which is a little bit of a surprise, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird to say, but you kind of expect it. You saw the chippiness, you saw the edge that both of these teams came out with, so you kind of expect a dogfight in this one.
Eddings with the punt, going towards the left hash, will bounce on the 6-yard line. Take a slight bounce in favor of Houston Christian, but not much. An excellent punt by Callum Eddings, as Houston Christian will be starting off at their own 11-yard line. We have a break. We'll be right back here on ESPN Plus. Welcome back here. 7:15 to go in this first quarter. A false start called against the Huskies here. Right as we return back from the break, we have no score. Both teams have punted twice early on. The defense has been on point, aggressive early on. Offense are struggling so far. Both trying to work on the outside short swing games or outside run game. Neither one having a ton of success early on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just the aggression of both defenses overall, and they're keeping a lid on the offense, so they're making the offense take what the defense give them.
1st down and 15 here, as Brick handler will take a high snap and try to run it up the middle. He does advance forward to get back the 5 yards and maybe 1 extra. Make it 2nd down and 9 coming up.
And you expect Houston Christian here, like they did right there, go back to their bread and butter. They're going to run the ball. They're going to continue to run the ball throughout the game. So they're going to challenge this SFA defense with their rushing attack.
So 2nd down and 9 coming up for the Huskies. As Huskies will swap out a back and a receiver here. Put the running back in motion now as Brickhandler looking to his left under a ton of pressure. Is he going to be wrapped up? He won't be wrapped up in time for a sack, but an interception happens instead. Picked off by Stephen F. Austin. The pressure on the Lumberjack defense came from Josiah Cotton.
And you see here Cotton getting his hands on him, and just a bad decision by the quarterback for Houston Christian, and just right into the hands of a defender from SFA.
Tim
Muhammad
coming up with his first interception of the season.
And just a heady football play right there, being in the right spot, being in the right place within the defense, and getting the interception and helping your offense out when it's been struggling here early in this game.
6:21 to go in the first quarter. Stephen F. Austin obviously with its best chance of the game here to score. Defense creating offense potentially, or at least creating opportunities for offense to take advantage of it here. Vidlac in the gun working with Wembley to his right. He'll take the snap, handoff going as Wembley works between the center and left guard, but a minimal gain, maybe a gain of 1 on the play as it's 2nd goal coming up now for Stephen F. Austin.
And Wembley, another guy for this SFA rushing attack. He's top 20 in the Southland Conference in rushing, so they have a lot of guys in the top half of the conference in rushing.
Yeah, on the season, Wembley 176 yards, 2 touchdowns for him, averaging 4.8 per carry. Didn't get that one on there. Harris going out wide on the right side. Rutherford in at quarterback for Stephen F. Austin. He'll fake the handoff and try to run it himself. Rutherford, another rushing threat for Stephen F. Austin. He, this season, has 2 rushing touchdowns, 160 yards through the air, but overall, not a ton of attempts, 10 of 13. But when we see him come into the game, it's more of a chance that, hey, they're going to try to do something at the run option game. Well, that one was stuffed shut by the Husky defense.
Yeah, you just got to give credit to that front 7. I mean, those front 4 guys for Houston Christian, closing those gaps quickly.
3rd and goal. Vidlac will put Harris in motion from left to right. Vidlac looking over the middle, right through the hands. It was Isaiah Davis was wide open there. Just a slightly high throw, but missed by Davis, and that was an opportunity. They would love to have that one back as Davis was wide open.
And that's one for Davis you got to have. They always say in football circles, from a receiver standpoint, if that ball touches your hands, they expect you to bring it down. That's one Davis probably wants to have back, and now you got to kick. Now you got to kick for 3 right here for SFA.
Yeah, but obviously the kicking game for Stephen F. Austin, something that they're very proud of and love. Chris Campos, just the career leader for Stephen F. Austin, getting close on the all-time record as well. The field goal is up. Obviously, it is good for Campos as they've kind of come to expect coming into tonight. Campos with 428 career points. That is his 80th field goal made. Jacob Hand set to doing the kicking off for the Lumberjacks after the first score of the game came from the field goal kicker for Stephen F. Austin, Chris Campos, all-time points leader for SFA. A field goal as SFA got the ball on the 10-yard line, just couldn't convert it into a touchdown. Had one opportunity, but it was missed. The return here for the Huskies will have them down at the 13-yard line, and the hitting happening, and I think a defender missed the whistle, and then the offense took exception to it on the return. So, you know what? It's physical play, and that might just continue throughout the whole night. Yeah,
you expect it. I mean, once you establish that it's going to be a chippy game, both sides pregame, that's what you expect, especially from both of these teams. I mean, both of these teams are playing for something. They're playing for their spot in the conference and moving forward and pushing forward and trying to get into those top 2 positions in the conference.
So far, Houston Christian has 1 rushing yard in the game and 11 receiving yards. Just 10 plays for 12 yards total is a tough mountain to climb against Stephen F. Austin, but I mean, neither offense really just clicking on all cylinders early on. It's been a defensive battle, but it's been physical, that's for sure. Huskies taking the snap. Back in at quarterback, it's Rogers. Swing pass over to his left. Pass received by Deuce McMillan. He's the #1 guy from Full Shear, Texas, the junior. 253 yards this season with 3 touchdowns. Quickly, they'll snap it and hand it off up the middle with a big run, but is there a timeout taken on the field?
Timeout, yeah.
Timeout was taken by Stephen F. Austin before the snap. But listen, that's that right there. That play might be something that is a very crucial play coming up down the road in the second half, because with the pace of both of these, you can use the timeout in the first half and that be okay. But what you can't do is have that happen in the second half, where if you're like in the third quarter and you see that your defense isn't quite ready, listen, if you do that, you're burning the timeout. That could hurt you in the fourth.
Right, absolutely. But that was like I was saying earlier. The tempo and getting those calls in by both sides are going to be key. Whoever is able to get those calls in and be efficient with that tempo that both of these teams can put on you, and that pressure they can put on you, that's where this game will be won. Yeah, on the offensive side.
Yeah, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. Now, I love the fact how offensively you're seeing Houston Christian really push it. They haven't been successful yet as far as getting a ton of yards, but their pace, their rhythm seems to be strong. It seems to be something that might be one of the fastest working off. It will be the fastest working offense that Stephen F. Austin has seen throughout this season. So, you got to be ready. Defensively, you have to communicate. You got to make sure everybody has their role accounted for, because defensively, all it takes is one play, and you're not ready to go. It's a home run play, and you end up giving up points.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you're saying there, it could cost you.
Yeah.
So, both of these sides have to get that stuff like that cleaned up.
I totally agree with you here, as we're, right in the middle of Southland Conference play. It's a lot going on at halftime. We'll obviously get to update you with a couple games happening throughout the conference this evening. But I love the fact how it's homecoming. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of purple here. Obviously, the band loud and proud. The cheerleaders are here. Everything's fun. The alumni are all here, and it's a good night. It's a good night for football here in the Piney Woods of East Texas. And listen, when you come into a place like this, like Homer Bryce, it can be a challenge. I imagine, because the atmosphere and the presence, it's strong.
Right, and I think that just adds to the pageantry of college sports in general. Just having homecoming, having former players, former alumni, students coming back, and it just makes for an environment like we have here tonight.
2nd and 5 coming up for the Huskies. It's a run over to the left side that is a loss of a yard on the play. It'll make it 3rd down and 6 coming up.
That was Elijah Fields for Stephen F. Austin getting back there first. A guy that has 12 tackles on the year, 5 solo tackles, and 3 tackles for loss.
Yeah.
On that defensive line for the Lumberjacks.
Fields from Houston, Texas. One of the 96 players for Stephen F. Austin from Texas throughout the roster, including transfers too. So it's, they're proudly, Coach Carthel proudly a Texas-based roster here that has seen a lot of success. Pass incomplete, forcing another 4th down.
That's Jeremiah Walker breaking in and getting a pass break up on the slant route. So these DBs for Stephen F. Austin, they've been making some plays.
Houston Christian now 0 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. The 3rd punt of the game coming up. 43-yard average so far for Reed Chanley. He punts from the right hash. The punt, he almost got it tipped. It's a high arching punt received at the 40-yard line. For Stephen F. Austin's number 83, Cannon Lindbergh, freshman wide receiver from Gunter, Texas. Stephen F. Austin will start off at their own 40-yard line. What do you think the key to unlocking the Stephen F. Austin offense is going to be here early on?
I think just spreading out this defense for Houston Christian, because Houston Christian is basically set to stopping the run.
Yeah.
The rushing attack and forcing Stephen F. Austin to pass the ball. But Stephen F. Austin is great with yards after the catch. So for Vidlak, I think getting it out to his receivers quick and allowing them to work in space.
Gerald Wembley to the left of Vidlak. Vidlak pump fakes and now is under pressure, rolling out, avoids the sack, makes a swing pass over to Wembley up the left side. And he keeps on going, keeps on trucking along. Wembley, all heart is this dude. Gets the 1st down for Stephen F. Austin.
And Wembley, he's an elusive back, as you've seen right there, breaking tackles and making defenders miss. And that's where Stephen F. Austin is at their best, is when they have their playmakers with the ball in space and allowing them to work. That's where this offense is lethal.
So 1st and 10 coming up for Stephen F. Austin. Jordan Neighbors nearest on the left side, isolated 3 wide receivers on the right side for Vidlak. He'll make a swing pass to Harris. Harris catches it, but then is wrapped up just as he got back to the line to gain. 2nd down and 10 coming up. Both teams.
Just great play recognition. Just seeing the screen play coming to the inside and just breaking on it and making a secure tackle. Just great play recognition for Houston Christian.
2 first downs for Stephen F. Austin. 1 for Houston Christian so far. Vidlak dropping back to pass, looking deep down the middle. It's Harris on an island, but Vidlak overthrew him. And honestly, this season, if you followed the Lumberjacks, that's not been something that's happened often. Right.
I mean, Vidlak he's been a pinpoint passer, a point guard in a sense for this offense, and that's just one he would want to have back and just put a little bit more air under it to allow his receiver to run under it.
So 3rd down and 10 coming up for SFA. So 3rd and 10. Bunch formation on the right side. Fluellen in motion. Vidlak looking towards his left, over the middle, making a pass. It's picked. The conference's best passing defense makes another interception. On the INT for the Huskies, it's Samaje Brown. And after the play, a penalty coming down. Some unsportsmanlike in either in one direction or another.
And you see Vidlak here just throwing it in the triple coverage, and Samaje just coming across and swiping it away from the SFA offense. And like I say, you have to be patient, especially with this defense where Houston Christian they run a 3-3-5 and they're very flexible out of it. And so that's where they get their turnovers. They look for turnovers. They may have the worst rushing defense in the conference, but that passing defense is on point, and it showed right there with that interception.
Officials still discussing this one after the play, the extracurricular happening. Once they make a decision, we'll be with them.
There are fouls on both teams during the return. Holding on the intercepting team, 10-yard penalty. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct for taunting, number 17, Stephen F. Austin, 15-yard penalty. Both fouls are enforced. That's number 17's first unsportsmanlike of the game.
So it went from bad to worse. I mean, it's holding. It's a unsportsmanlike penalty. That's a tough mountain to climb, and that's just something that obviously, if you're Coach Carter, you're not going to be none too happy with that.
Yeah, you don't need it. I mean, I know it's a chippy game, but you want to keep your composure. The team that keeps their composure the best will have the best opportunity to pull this game out. So, and it also hurts your team. Yeah. Those type of penalties hurt your team, and so you just want to clean that stuff up and keep your composure, even in a chippy and hostile kind of situation with both of these teams.
So 1st and 10 coming up for Houston Christian. They're on the SFA 48. Adams takes the handoff. Hands it over to Calvin Hill. Hill, a strong rusher, 289 yards this season. 5.1 average and 2 touchdowns. He almost had some daylight there to break it to the house.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the 11th leading rusher in the conference, and when he when he hit that hole, he was breaking tackles and making some things happen once he gets into open space and getting a first down for Houston Christian.
Houston Christian does have 3 of the top 12 rushers in the conference. They're going to drop back and pass this one deep. Right side, just incomplete.
Man.
Pass intended for Deuce McMillan. He had him just slightly overthrown from C.J. Rogers, the junior from Argyle, Texas.
And Rogers, he put that one on the money.
He did.
It was just on the fingertips where he just couldn't bring it in. But
and if it hits the fingertips,
yeah,
you got to bring it.
Absolutely.
As a receiver, you got to bring it. 2nd and 10. Rogers under pressure, looking right, a sidearm sling. The ball is caught. It's loose on the ground. Was he down? Was it a catch?
That's the question. Was it a catch? I mean, the ball popped out. He was down, but
We also have a flag on the play here. We look for a late hit, possibly on the quarterback. Let's see what.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer.
Wow.
Number 26. High hit on the quarterback. 15-yard penalty in the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
So it's a late high hit on the quarterback. 15 yards, and so penalty is going to be obviously a big deal early on for Stephen F. Austin. Stephen F. Austin came into this game being penalized 100 yards less than the Huskies, but early on, it's been all penalties against SFA.
And a team that loves to use ball control like Houston Christian does and run the football a lot, that's to their advantage.
Yeah,
they'll take it if you're going to make errors on your defense. They'll take it, and they're going to continue to run the ball, especially, which is what I expect here in the red zone from them.
1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. Rogers will hand it off over to Hill. Hill working up the middle, where he's tackled after a gain of 3 on the play.
And each of their running backs are small in height.
Yeah.
But they are very powerful in those legs and getting some extra yardage
100%.
Whenever they need it.
Swing pass, well, that time was just bobbled. Was it a forward pass? If it was a backwards pass, Stephen F. Austin recovered it. However, I do believe the ball was thrown forward. Let's see. They point backwards?
Yeah, they pointed and say it was backwards.
On the ruling on the field here right now is that they are saying the ball was thrown as a backwards, which would be classified as a lateral, dropped by the running back, recovered by the Lumberjacks. What a massive critical turnover.
Yeah, and it looks like you saw in a review that he was reaching backwards for the football, and so that's what the referee saw right there, and the ball. I think it's still. Is there still some discussion going on about?
The
that's
rule
what it
on the
looks
field
like.
is a fumble recovered by the defense.
So it is ruled a fumble, as we were saying here.
Correction, the ruling field was a backward pass. Replay has cleared it. First down, Stephen F. Austin.
So replay has said, hey, replay is confirmed. That is a backwards pass, which is, it's fair game. You're up for grabs. And I love the attentiveness of the sideline over here for Stephen F. Austin getting to see that, because right after the big hit was made, defenders kind of celebrated. They said, hey, pointing at the ball, go get it. Hey, go get it, because you still got to finish out the play.
Absolutely, and not finishing out the play, if it goes back to replay and it happens to be your ball, then that's why you got to play. That's why on the defense and on both sides you got to play through the whistle.
So 1st and 10, another turnover in this one. First time a turnover though second time a turnover for Houston Christian. Vidlac dropping back, looking towards his right, under a little bit of pressure. Not known as a runner, but will take off and puts the ball in his left arm and gets up to the 22-yard line on the carry. A gain of 8, 2nd down and short coming up.
And this passing defense for Houston Christian, they're doing a great job of taking away Vidlac's first read. And so Vidlac did a great job there just using his legs. That's what he's going to have to do. This defense wants to bait you and get interceptions and get turnovers. But the thing is, you have to take what the defense gives you if you're this SFA offense.
So 2nd down coming up and short. Vidlac dropping back, looking over to his right. Finds Neighbors. Neighbors wrapped up and thrown around, spun around out of bounds. We will see did he get enough for the first. As the clock will roll, it is a 1st down. Clock now at 10 seconds. Vidlac hands it off. It's Jenkins getting the carry up the left side, a 4-yard gain. And that will be the last play of the first quarter. Stephen F. Austin leading 3-0 over the Houston Christian Huskies. A defensive battle here early on in this one. Thanks for hanging with us. We'll come back with the second quarter in just a moment here on ESPN+. And welcome back. We're here in the second quarter. Just as quickly as we can get back from the break, Stephen F. Austin's ready to snap it. It's Jenkins taking the first carry out to the left side. A gain of 11 on the play. Jalen Jenkins.
And great job by the left side of that offensive line for SFA, creating some massive holes for Jenkins to run through. And once you give Jenkins daylight, he's going to take it. And he's a big-time running back for the Lumberjacks.
So it's 1st down and 10, fresh out of downs for Stephen F. Austin. Vidlac working over to his right. Pass complete, caught at the 50, falling forward and making the play for Stephen F. Austin, it's Clayton Wayland, his third catch of the year. You know, with Blaine Green being out in this one for Stephen F. Austin, the wide receiving core really going to have to step up. Wayland might be one of those guys that can do just that.
Yeah, Wayland, like you seen there, is able to secure the catch and make some big plays.
First down gotten once again, this time by Jenkins, who's starting to have a little bit more daylight here come the second quarter.
And that's where the run game and the quick passing game can come into play. Once you spread out this defense for Houston Christian with the quick passing game and also having the run game on the outside as well, it causes problems for a defense.
Pass from Vidlac working over to his left is caught. That's Kylan Harris, who takes a big hit as well. Coming up making the tackle is KJ Makins. And the Stephen F. Austin offense, as we said, most of the broadcast, they are just simply wanting to, work quickly. Vidlac will pitch it over to Jenkins' right side, trying to find a gap. He'll get a gain of 3 on the play, bringing third down, and 2 to go.
And now if you're Stephen F. Austin, you have third and manageable.
Yeah.
And that's more like it for this offense and what they're trying to do. In the first quarter when the offense stalled out, they did not have these type of situations where it's 3rd and 5 and under. But great defense there.
Third and short, third down.
Houston Christian.
Stop on that one. Looks like it'll be 4th and 1, and so Stephen F. Austin will have a decision to make here.
And Houston Christian overall, that front seven has done a great job of stuffing the inside run. The only thing that Stephen F. Austin has had is the outside run. And so that inside run has been stuffed here early in this game for Houston Christian.
4th and 1. Vidlac will take the snap, hand off to Jenkins. I don't know if he
was
got
stuffed
there.
Again.
I don't think he got it. I believe he is short of the line to gain. It's a turnover on downs for Stephen F. Austin, and that was an incredible, defensive front for somebody who has the worst rushing defensive stats in the conference. Houston Christian looking very strong here tonight.
Absolutely, and you gotta know that this coaching staff really challenged this defense, especially that front seven, to up their run defense.
And we have a timeout here on the field. Score 3-0. We'll be back with 12:24 to go here from Homer Bryce. An impressive defensive stop here for the Houston Christian Huskies, creating the, stop on 4th and 1. Just a brick wall of a defensive effort there from the Huskies. 1st and 10, their offense will work. They'll put a man in motion just to the short slot. They'll hand it off over to the right side. On the run, it's Darrell Evans, and Evans, a guy that is another one of the number 8 rusher in the conference coming into tonight. 370 yards, 3 touchdowns. Really been quiet so far here in this one.
Yeah, and like you said, they have a lot of guys in that top half of the conference in rushing, and so this is what they like to do. They love to pound the ball on offense, and that's what they're continuing to do here. But
yeah, one hit, but he still stays up on his feet. He's powerful. And these running backs, they all seem to be very strong. They keep their legs moving. They're very, they got some strong thighs. They just keep moving despite the contact.
Yeah, and they showed me here earlier, they're not going to go down on first contact unless you really hit those guys. And I think that's a big thing that continues to move drives for this offense.
3rd and 3. So taking a little more time than normal here. C.J. Rogers looking for the sign from the side. Dropping back to pass, stepping up in the pocket. Didn't find any receiver, so he just takes it himself. He does get the first down. C.J. Rogers advancing. Fortunately, the second line there for SFA, but the pocket, the defensive line, really attacked and surrounded him, but right up the gut, it was right there available.
And Rogers, he's another guy that can use his legs from the quarterback position. They have both guys that can use their legs, and so when it's 3rd and manageable, even for this offense, for Houston Christian, they do a great job of converting.
1st and 10, Rogers looking to the running back route, and he just flat out missed on the throw to Darrell Evans. Either that, I believe it. Most likely, that's a route miscommunication. It looked like Rogers was throwing an out route to the running back Evans. Evans, or pardon me, it looked like he was throwing a slant. Inside slant. Yeah, but instead it was an out route ran. 2nd and 10, Evans slips, able to stay on his feet though, and then he's gang tackled at the 44-yard line. That's a gain of 1. 3rd down and 9 coming up.
And that was Trayshawn Adams tracking him down from that safety position. I'll tell you what, he's a guy that can come downhill and lay the lumber for this defense for SFA.
3rd and long. Rogers under pressure quickly. Atkins was there. He'll throw one on the run, and that's going to not draw a flag. There was contact down the field. On defense, Tyler Hutchinson.
Man.
His responsibility was guarding Champ Dozier, and I'm surprised we didn't see any laundry come out on that one.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, it looked like he got there a bit early before the ball did, but the referees down there did not see that. They say that the contact happened once the ball got in the vicinity, but that's a close call and a judgment call for the referees.
Yeah, they're going to say maybe out of reach on that one. The punt squad coming back out. 4th punt of the game coming up for the Huskies. The punt is away. And it will take a Husky bounce. Wow, it is down at the 4-yard line. Excellent punt from Reed Chanley. We've got a break. We're a few minutes into the 2nd quarter. The score 3-0. We'll be back here from Homer Bryce. SFA backed up deep in their own territory here in the 2nd quarter. 9:57 to go. 3-0 is the score. The field goal from Campos, responsible for the only point so far in this one. Vidlac will be taking the snap from inside his own end zone. Vidlac dropping back, looking deep over the middle. Deep pass, nobody in the area. Can the pass be complete? It is. It's Neighbors on the reception. He could walk. He could crawl if he wanted to. It's a touchdown for the Lumberjacks.
And what a throw by Sam Vidlac. The defender fell. That was guarding Neighbors, and Neighbors just went and got it in. Vidlac did a better job on that one, put some air under it, allowing his receiver to run under it, and Neighbors just walks into the end zone for the Jacks.
That is the equivalent of a wide open layup in basketball where there's nobody across half court. All you got to do is make sure you don't mess it up in that situation, and Neighbors found it like an outfielder, made the catch, and ran it on in for a touchdown, for the first touchdown in this one. And here comes Campos with the extra point. Wow. It's going to be false start. We'll see. Referees discussing here on the extra point. There is laundry on the field. The discussion right now is between that right side of the offensive line for Stephen F. Austin. Did they move first, or was it an encroachment from the defense of Houston Christian? So as they continue
Still a
to talk,
discussion.
Yeah. Here we go.
Offside. 17 defense in neutral zone caused an offense reaction. Half distance to go. Retry.
And what's surprising about the offside, for it to be called, for it to be blown dead, typically that's something that you let that play through. You let that play through, and it's you could take the result of the kick if you wanted to. However, they blew that one dead quickly.
Yeah, it's because he's in the neutral zone and he caused a reaction from.
They've accepted the penalty, declined the yardage. The ball beat the 3. Retry.
And that's something you don't see very often right there. They've accepted the penalty, declined the yardage because, listen, Campos, Chris Campos, he's got his spots. He knows what he wants and how he wants it. Extra point try is up. Second time, just as good as the first. And the score 10-0. First touchdown of the game by either team. And that was simply one. Courtney, the play, the coverage, man fell. Well, that's unfortunate, especially when you don't have any safety help over top.
Yeah, absolutely. It's no safety help over the top, and the defender loses his footing and falls. That's where you're going to get into trouble with this offense, especially with the pinpoint passer like Sam Vidlac for Stephen F. Austin.
It's homecoming here at Stephen F. Austin. A lot of, obviously, as always, a lot of purple in the crowd, but a little more extra here tonight. All the fans here at Homer Bryce. A little earlier start than usual, starting the 6 o'clock kick than what has been earlier this season with 7 o'clock. But it's been a physical tightly contested. It's been an aggressive matchup to start off here in this first half. Both teams a little chippy, a little amped up. And like we said, we saw that coming up in the warm-ups 4 hours pregame. I was like, okay, both these teams, they are ready to rock and roll. Both defenses really came out well in the first quarter and were extremely solid.
Free kick, kicked out of bounds. Ball placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
So a free kick, that's something you don't typically see a lot of from Stephen F. Austin's Jacob Hand, the freshman from Mansfield, Texas. We have seen this season here at home, we've seen where he's kind of played golf and hit the hole-in-one, hitting that pylon, if you remember, over down to our left. And so he's came close, but we haven't seen a ton of out-of-bounds kickoffs, well, extra 10 yards on it. So the Huskies starting off from their own 35. First and 10. Adams will put a Dozier in motion. Hand off to him. It will push forward for a yard. Champ Dozier on the run, and Brick Handler actually the quarterback here for the Huskies on this drive.
Now it's a big fella breaking having Ed Bobineau, the third for Stephen F. Austin in the middle. And so that's the thing. We talked about the contact balance of these guys, these running backs for Houston Christian, but it's a difference when you get Ed Bobineau getting back there and trying to keep your balance on that big guy for Stephen F. Austin.
Totally agree. Second down and 9 coming up. Brick Handler yet to complete a pass. He's trying to find one here, airs one out, finds his man, Deuce McMillan, making the catch. A huge first down there, a huge chunk play, the first real spark of offense we've seen from this Husky squad.
And what a throw from Brick Handler, just one-on-one coverage. Safety can't get over, and just a easy pitch and catch on a deep route for Houston Christian.
So after the passing completion, they're going to hand it off to Dozier, who tries to dance around the right side. It's tripped up on the play. Trayshawn Adams getting in there.
He's been very, very active from that safety position, coming down and run support for Stephen F. Austin.
Dozier just able to make it back to the line of scrimmage. Second and 10 coming up. One high safety. And a false start. Yeah, false start going to be called against the Huskies.
False start. 70 offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Second and 14 coming up now. As the Huskies looking to the sideline for the cue. Coach Jason Bachtel, third head coach in Houston Christian history. Brick Handler was under duress at first, escaped out of it, and then just cut the deficit of yards in half on that one. Third and 8 coming up. The clock will run.
And that was Jaden Southard from that linebacker position with some amazing closing speed for Stephen F. Austin to go to corral Brick Handler, because he had some green grass right there if it wasn't for Southard for Stephen F. Austin.
So third and 8. See a little bit slower tempo, Courtney. What do you think strategy-wise is the difference here?
I think it's all about execution, right? And it's going to be a timeout, because you saw the coach running down the sideline. They call that timeout for Houston Christian.
Half. Also, a media timeout.
Media timeout. We'll be back in a moment. The score 10-0. 7:13 to go in the first half here from Homer Bryce. Welcome back. Here's third down and 8 coming up for Houston Christian. Brick Handler making the pass on the slant intended for Ishmael Fuller, but just overshot him. The slant route was there, and it actually might have had a clear pathway to the end zone as well, with quarterback Brick Handler shooting that one high. Yeah,
Brick Handler, it looked like it was a bit of a miscommunication, because the receiver didn't have his head turned around until it was too late, until the ball was already on him. So he has to snap that head around and look for that quick slant, especially with the front seven and their pressure of the Lumberjacks.
Dylan Fedor getting to make his appearance for the first time. And this one from the right hash. The kick is up. The kick is good. It is a 37-yard field goal. And it's now a one-possession game. 10-3 is our score. And it could have been, Courtney, this game could have gone a lot of different directions in the first half. That first quarter defensively was one of the strongest between two teams that were really going at it that we've seen as a home game here at Homer Bryce.
Yeah, absolutely. I think both defenses are actually playing pretty well for the most part. It's just the busted coverage for Houston Christian that cost them with the touchdown. But this is turned into a very smash-mouth defensive game on both sides. So strap on your bootstraps for people viewing and people in the stands here. It's a real one. It's a real battle on both sides, especially coming from both defenses and shutting down both these offenses for the most part throughout this first half.
So far, Stephen F. Austin, 27 plays in this one for 191 yards. But as you said, that one busted play really skewing things. For Houston Christian, it's 29 plays in this one and 97 yards. So almost at triple digits. It's been defensive. It has been a back and forth game, and the kickoff is up. Received by the Lumberjacks, and they'll return it from the 2. That's Neighbors on the return, gets up to the 22-yard line. Like I said, every time there is a group of players around for tackles, Courtney, it is just chippy, and they're just going at it, and it's kind of what you expect to see, honestly. Yeah,
absolutely. Like we said, we've been saying it throughout the broadcast that both of these two teams are playing for something within the conference standing, and overall it's going to cause some chippiness, some chippy plays, and hard hitting football on both sides.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. So Vidlak brings his Lumberjacks back on the field. 3 wide receivers to his left. He'll hand it off to Wembley, though. He starts off going left, then kicks it back right, has a little bit of space to run to 35, 40, 45, up to the 50, and back to the 45, where he eventually is pushed out of bounds. In pursuit on that was Davion Hargrove.
And just the elusive running style of Wembley for Stephen F. Austin. You see here going left and cutting back right, just nothing there on the left side, and cutting back and actually lowering the shoulder on the end of the play. So he's an elusive but powerful when he needs to be for this Lumberjack offense.
Playing a little banged up too. He's got all heart. 1st and 10. Vidlak dropping back under pressure, and he's sacked. Brought back down to the ground quickly.
And he was looking for that crossing route from Kylan Harris, and like you see here, he's looking for the crossing route for Kylan Harris. It was double covered, and great job by Houston Christian in the front 7 getting to Vidlak.
Joe Cadet coming up with his first sack of the year. Coming into it, he had 6 quarterback hurries. Well, now he's put SFA in a big bind here. It's 2nd down and 18 to go. Vidlak takes the snap, looking back, steps up in the pocket, over the middle, finding his man wide open to the house. It's Clayton Wayland. Second touchdown pass of the game for Sam Vidlak, but Wayland running an excellent route, juked the defender, faked right, went left over the middle, and the throw was right on the money from Sam Vidlak.
Man, just great job by Wayland, just getting vertical and making a quick move and getting the touchdown pass on that quick post route. And man, you see the guys on the sideline happy, but great pitch and catch from Vidlak to Wayland on the post route.
Wayland, his 4th reception of the season, is his first touchdown as well. The freshman from South Lake Carroll High School. Dominant program and
powerhouse program.
Powerhouse in the state of Texas. Extra point good from Campos. But getting to step in, and that's football's the game of the next man up. You have an opportunity, have a situation. This is one of those things that you have to have people step up in that spot. Well, they did just that.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, that's just the culture of what you build in your program. You just having guys stepping up when they're needed. And so great job by this coaching staff for Stephen F. Austin having their guys prepared in the 2 deep, and guys that are not normally in the 2 deep, having everybody prepared for one goal and getting a win here tonight. So the kickoff coming here from
Jacob Hand. The second quarter has had all the offense. Pretty much 2 touchdowns here for Stephen F. Austin. 1 field goal for Houston Christian in the quarter. Hand's kickoff. Last time he had a kickoff, it went out of bounds. It penalized this time. Goes in the end zone for a touchback, but he does hit another pylon, Courtney. That's 2 out of the 4 this season he's hit off the kickoff. So if he's playing this whole football golf game, he's doing pretty good here early on. So what do you think Houston Christian has to do here coming up on this drive? SFA receives the ball in the second half. So obviously I think they've got to be able to produce. I don't think it's just points. I think they got to come back and try to answer the touchdown immediately.
Right. I think they have to be methodical about how they do it. They can hit the shot play when it's there, but it's really getting in 3rd and 5 and under, because that's where their offense has been at its best. When they're in 3rd and long, that's where the offense is just not done a great job of converting on 3rd down.
Rogers dropping back, making the pass over to his left, caught by Calvin Hill, who with the hesitation step makes it 2nd down and 7 coming up.
And those quick screens to the receiver have been there all game for Houston Christian. I think they use it when they need it, and I think they have to use that more along with their run game to open up this defense for Stephen F. Austin.
Houston Christian with 39 rushing yards in this one. Passing yards 58 before that last play. A run play on that one goes absolutely nowhere.
That was stuffed.
Stuffed and then sandwiched. There, Victor Adusi. Let's finish off that one. That's a bad day if you're at the bottom of that pile.
Yeah, and that was the linebacker Josiah Cotton just as well back in there on the tackle as well.
Yeah, 100%. He had to stuff the gap, and then Adusi just said, hey, you know what? I'm just going to make sure we're down here. 3rd down and 7. Rogers. Barking the orders, has 3 receivers to his right, 1 out to his left. He'll put a man in motion. The man is Drake Martinez, the tight end.
Yard penalty. 3rd down.
False start the call against the Huskies. So 3rd down and 12 now for Houston Christian.
And this is where the Lumberjack defense wants to have this Houston Christian offense, and where they've been efficient on third downs.
SFA looks like they're about to sell the house on this one. They are bringing everybody. Oh, here comes Cotton backing off right before the snap, but a ton of pressure coming up.
Be a face mask.
Rogers able to get out, and Kai Thomas was in pursuit of the quarterback, C.J. Rogers, and let's see what happened here.
Just grab the face mask.
Boy.
Just hurting your team with those type of things, especially when you have them in 3rd and long. I know you want to bring the guy down, but you got to bring those hands down and at least give your team a chance to
personal foul,
not have
face
those
mask,
penalties.
Number 97 defense, 15-yard penalty for the previous spot, automatic 1st down.
So
the quarterback's may remain in the game because of foul.
Went from 3rd and long to now 1st and 10 with 15 more yards, all because of a penalty like that. When you're in pursuit, you cannot default to grabbing that mask, because especially when the officials are right there in front of you.
Right, that's the difference between being off the field and having to continue to drive against this Houston Christian offense. So you just have to execute at a little bit higher level to get off that field if you're the SFA defense.
So 1st and 10 for the Huskies. They'll stack receivers both sides near the offensive line, and passes overthrown from Rogers, intended over in the direction of Adrian Green, the junior from Shreveport, Louisiana. 19 yards on the season. Not a ton of action for him, but I think you're seeing the Huskies quite honestly they're trying to make the passing attack much more, in their arsenal here early on, more than what we were expecting to see. 2nd and 10. Rogers gets out of the first tackle attempt on the run, makes a throw, and that went from a bad play to a fantastic play. Excellent playmaking ability being shown by Rogers, throwing off balance and on the run. I believe it's Deuce McMillan on the reception.
And you see, you see the pursuit by the SFA defense, and Rogers just throwing off platform, and just the receiver making himself available for his quarterback and getting the yards after the catch.
And pardon me, to give credit where it's due, it's Adrian Green, who we mentioned moments ago, came up with the reception there. So 1st and 10 now. Rogers, wow, that was just a complete miss on that one. He threw that one about 3 yards short and 2 yards in front of where it needed to go.
And you got to give credit on the Lumberjack side. And Aaron Austin he was looking to blow that play up, that swing pass to the running back. And he's 13th in the conference in tackles for loss. So SFA has multiple guys on this defense that are known for playing fast and playing physical and forcing the offenses into tough situations.
Aaron Austin, the Lumberjack of the week last week for his defensive performance against Southeastern Louisiana, a heartbreaker of a game for SFA. They put themselves in a bind trying to make the playoffs with a game like this one so important. Houston Christian once again had the opportunity. Calvin Wiggins was there. He had the space with the throwing from both the quarterbacks. This time it was Brickhandler under center. Just threw it, led him a little too far.
Yeah, and he's a 6'4", 210 receiver, so it's hard to miss that frame and that guy. But he put it out there for him, but he has to put, like I said for Vidlak, you have to put more air under than trust your receiver, especially a 6'4" receiver that they have there that can go up and make a play on the football.
Luke Watson checking in here for Stephen F. Austin as Houston Christian had a sub. Cotton will come off for the Lumberjacks. 3rd and 10. Brickhandler dropping back. Fakes the pass, now steps up to run. He has daylight, gets the first down, and gets a lot more as well. Eli Brickhandler coming up with a big rush.
And Brickhandler just seeing that Stephen F. Austin was in man and just taking off and getting the positive yardage. So that was a good read by Brickhandler for Houston Christian.
After that run, Brickhandler now the leading rusher for these Huskies. He makes a swing pass out, but Courtney, I'll tell you what, when they look back at the tape here in the first half, especially in the second quarter, they're going to really regret the fact they couldn't make the short little sidearm shortstop flick to second base type throw from quarterback to receiver.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's an execution thing on the offense, but you also got to give credit to the defense for Stephen F. Austin pressing the pocket, but Brickhandler, as the quarterback, has to step in and step in there even with the pressure in his face and make those throws as well. 2nd and
10, 2:38 to go here in this first half. The score 17-3. Brickhandler to run all the way, takes a snap and just goes forward. He does gain on the play 3 yards. It'll create a 3rd down and 7 coming up. Brickhandler now with 41 yards gained. Hill, the next closest rusher for the Huskies with 18 in this game. But you said, in the pregame, Courtney, this Houston Christian squad, they are most successful. They have had the most success this year where they've ran the ball 50-plus times. And tonight we are not seeing that much of a emphasis on the run game. They're trying to establish the pass. We have the 2-minute timeout happening here at Homer Bryce. Score 17-3. We'll be back in a moment here on ESPN+. Welcome back here from the 2-minute timeout. Houston Christian on the drive here. Brickhandler dropping back under center, a lot of pressure. The pocket collapsing on him, and he will take a loss on the play, creating a 4th and 11 situation. We'll see if they send out the special teams unit once again. 1 successful field goal already.
And you can see here on the replay, they were going back to that same type of play they ran earlier, but great job by the front 7 of Stephen F. Austin and corralling Brickhandler for the sack. But they went back to looking for that quick slant route again, but it's just that front 7.
Second charge of the half, 30 seconds in length.
Timeout taken, but we'll stay here through the break with 1:53 to go in this first half. And Courtney, on the delayed draw there, that time SFA did a good job of collapsing the pocket. And really the difference in this game, we're seeing a lot more passing from Houston Christian than we expected to coming in, but the efficiency really not there. 8 of 20 on passing attempts with 1 interception. On the other side, you see SFA 10 of 14. They do have an interception, but they also have 2 passing touchdowns in this one. Total yards for each team will be something that we get to talk about at halftime because it's 39 plays for Houston Christian for 140 yards compared to 30 plays for 269 for the Lumberjacks. A 44-yard field goal attempt is up. It is good. 2 for 2 on the evening is Dylan Feeder, making the score 17-6. So Stephen F. Austin yet to surrender a touchdown here in the first half.
Field goal attempt by Dylan Feeder is good. Our new score is Houston Christian Huskies 6, your SFA Lumberjacks 17.
Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at the conference games happening in the Southland. We'll also take a look at the conference standings as well. We'll have that coming up all at half and give you some first half stats as well. And what's been a fun night here for Homecoming 2024. So Feeder set to do the kicking off now. For the second time this evening, a low line drive kick will actually roll out of bounds just in front of the pylon. Stephen F. Austin will take things, start off at the 35-yard line.
Down.
So both teams now, one kicking, one out of bounds. And, looking at different themes of this game, you look, first downs pretty close to even. It's SFA with 9, Houston Christian with 8 so far. Rushing yards, it's Stephen F. Austin, 76. Houston Christian, 59. It's the passing game. 193 for the Lumberjacks, 76 for Houston Christian. And like I said, there's been just a chunk of these short passes that could be producing long gains for them. The quarterbacks are just missing between Brickhandler and Rogers.
Yeah, just the execution went down, especially, like you said, in the short passing attack for Houston Christian in that offense.
Vidlag back to pass, finds the receiver on the curl route. He's brought down quickly. A gain of 4 on the play. Second down coming up. Second down and about 6 to go. Vidlag looking over to his right, pass complete on the play. It's Isaiah Davis, and we know Davis, when he gets to the film room tomorrow, he's going to be like, man, what happened on that one pass to me that he could have had an end zone that time on the curl route, be able to make the catch. And Stephen F. Austin trying to tack one on here right before half.
Just taking what the defense gives them.
1st and 10. Handoff going to Wembley. Wembley bouncing off like it's a pinball machine. Gets a gain of 7 on the play. So second down and 3 to go. Vidlag, little pressure, having to roll out to his left, has some pressure.
Wow, what a throw.
Actually, the pass looked like it was going to Wembley. Instead, it's Fluellen making the catch. I thought it went from a bad pass to, oh, wow, he's an expert. He knows exactly what he's doing. Fluellen there to make the catch.
Wow, just an amazing arm angle, just throwing around the defender, side arm, and just a great pitch and catch between quarterback and receiver right there. And that's just Vidlag just making a play and being the proficient passer that he is and has been all year for the Lumberjack offense.
Fluellen came off the field. Looks like he may have rolled an ankle as he kind of hopped and skipped over. So 1st and 10 now. 45 seconds to go. So Fluellen walking over to the bench. Officials talking with Coach Carthel of Stephen F. Austin. I think head coach, Coach Bachtel, is asking for clock to possibly to either still be running or for the entry to be ran off some. Vidlac takes a low snap, is looking over to his right. He has pressure, and throws it away just in time. The hurry coming from Houston Christian's defense. That's DJ Harris in pursuit. Harris, the 6', 220 senior from Houston, Texas. He leads their team in tackles with 46 tackles so far this season.
3.5 tackles for loss and 1 sack, and just great pursuit. And Vidlac was looking for the switch route down on the bottom of your screen, and so great pursuit by Harris.
Second 10, Vidlac dropping back, looking over to his right, finding Harris. Harris beats his man initially, then he gets forced out of bounds softly, but does gain 8 on the play. 3rd down and 2 coming up.
And a big thing for this offense for Stephen F. Austin right now is protecting the football, making the right read if you're Vidlac, and protecting the football, not trying to get a turnover and allow your, whether it's a touchdown or your kicker coming out and getting points going back into the half.
Anthony Williams checking in here for Stephen F. Austin. Williams will be put in motion, 3rd and 2. Vidlac. Once again having pressure. This time, wow, somehow able to make 2 guys miss and trip. Vidlac now, this is where he's dangerous. He can create something. He finds him. It's open. Touchdown, Lumberjacks. Anthony Williams.
Anthony Williams, the receiving running back. He also has some power running the ball, but he also is a prolific receiver. And you see here Vidlac looking across the field and making a play and getting out of harm's way and just throwing an absolute missile to Neighbors. I mean to Williams, excuse me, to Williams in the end zone.
He made the 2 defenders miss and trip over themselves as well. That's exactly what SFA wanted right before halftime, tacking on another score, especially knowing they get the ball coming out of the second half. 23-6 your score at the moment. Campos trying to make it 24. Best kicker in SFA history comes up with the extra point. And the score now 24-6. Yeah, coming up at half, we'll take a look at what's happened today in the day of college football. We'll take a look specifically at the Southland Conference and also some other national headline games. Take a look at the conference standings and upcoming schedules for both teams as well. Look forward to breaking down things for you. During this halftime stint, Stephen F. Austin, I'm sure they don't want to see a halftime right now. They just want to keep things going. If they had a choice, they'd say, let's skip it and keep on going.
Yeah, exactly. They have the momentum right now on both sides of the football, and so you try to keep that momentum going, and Coach Carter will want to take that momentum and bringing that same energy out for the second half. If you're Houston Christian, you have to go into halftime and find some and make some adjustments and try to come out and take the crowd out of the game and grab some momentum of yourself and get in a defensive stop.
So here comes Hand for the kickoff here with 13 seconds to go in this first half. The SFA offense came alive, 3 touchdowns here in the second quarter. Kickoff goes into the end zone. SFA actually has a man down.
Timeout, injury, defense.
Man down for the Lumberjacks here. It's the training staff coming out to tend to him. Jamari Seals, the man down. And see if Seals able to trying to get up. So 1st and 10 here with 13 seconds to go in the first half. Handoff going over to the right side. Stuffed after about a 5-yard gain on the carry for the Huskies. It's Darrell Evans. And that will take us to halftime. The offense came alive in the second quarter after it was a defensive, just tenacious effort by both teams in the first quarter. The score at half, 24-6. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back here to Homer Bryce. We're at halftime. The score 24-6. And what was a really stout defensive first quarter, now here in the second quarter, things opened up for both teams. It was 3 touchdowns put up by Stephen F. Austin, 2 field goals put up by the Houston Christian Huskies, and you're seeing some replays from the action. A lot of big plays throughout the night. We've seen a 2-quarterback approach for the Huskies as well. Brick Handler's been under duress, and then right there you see Muhammad coming up with the interception, and he was, that was an interception created by pressure. Well, then Houston Christian comes up with a pick of their own in that one as well. So it's been back and forth. You've seen chippiness. You've seen a lot of intensity by both of these teams. Samaje Brown coming up with a pick for the Huskies on that one. But overall, Courtney, as we're seeing some replays, just tell me some insights. What do you see as the biggest takeaways going into half number 2?
Well, I think the biggest thing is for Houston Christian to establish the run a little bit better, but also they have to convert those short passes, those passes in the flat to their running backs and to their receivers on short outs and whatnot. And I think a big thing for them is just execution over on the offensive side. The defense has held up as long as they can, but there's been some coverage busts, so they have to clean that up as well. But I think the execution on the short routes and also establishing the run for Houston Christian is going to be key. And for SFA, the big thing for them is just coming out and putting a nail in the coffin here early in this third quarter and not allowing Houston Christian to get any momentum coming out and scoring on their opening drive of the third quarter. So I think this opening drive is going to tell us a lot about how the second half is going to go for both squads.
You saw a second ago on one of the completions for Houston Christian. McMillan came up with the only large chunk play for Houston Christian on the night. That was one that was just a little bit of a busted coverage, but actually a great throw and a great route by McMillan on it too. So overall, it was a lot of action happening, especially defensively. The passing game is yet to really get going for Houston Christian. They've had one big chunk, but they've been a lot of incompletions, a lot of short misses that, honestly, at this level, you've got to be able to make those throws and make it happen. Brick Handler's done a good job of being a running threat in this one, but he's also had a couple throws, and Rogers has too, for the Huskies, where they would say, I would love to get this back. The sidearm throw there from what we saw from Bidlack, that was fantastic, hitting Fluellen on that reception, and then
avoid the sack.
Avoid the sack, make both of them fall, and then watch this. Here he goes, and there's that man. There's that man, Anthony Williams, ball finding him right in the end zone for the most recent of touchdowns for Stephen F. Austin. So halftime stats for you. Look, I mean, the rush yards are fairly similar, but it's the biggest difference in this one, the passing yards. 251 pass yards, 76 pass yards for Houston Christian in the first down deficit. Also, it's not. It's not super far off, but Stephen F. Austin came into the night leading the conference in number of first downs per game. Houston Christian was down at 6 and 7, and literally it's a difference of 5 to 6 first downs per game, and that makes all the difference. Those are your halftime stats and replays from the first half. Just want to shout out to our whole production crew behind the scenes making this thing happen, and so appreciate them. Best in the business. Great job, guys. And here we go for the second half. Stephen F. Austin will be receiving the kick, and the fans are ready. A great halftime show. You got to see some homecoming festivities along with it. Jordan Neighbors and Gerald Wembley back to receive the kick for the Lumberjacks. Second half is underway. Here we go. Neighbors receiving the kick, gets up to the 25-27, and then a slew of Huskies surrounding him for the tackle, and Stephen F. Austin will start things off at their own 30-yard line. And for Sam Bidlack, when you look back at that first half, you're going to feel pretty good. You'd love to have that interception back. 15 of 21 interception, but 3 touchdowns, 251 yards total, and a 96-yard long completion.
Right.
That's the big one.
Yep.
That's the big one.
And you expect for Vidlac to get his guys the ball in space, especially the receivers, and also establishing a run.
Yeah, you see coming into tonight, he was the second best in Southland Conference with 18 touchdowns, and he'll hand things off. And I expect, honestly, you're going to see a heavy dose of the run game. Hopefully, Stephen F. Austin can establish the run because they would love nothing more than to chew clock. And we saw a ton of fast tempo in the first half between both teams. I think the second half you might see Stephen F. Austin slow things down a good bit.
Yeah, you can see it. I mean, they have a pretty controlled lead right now, but they have to protect the football and have good long drives to keep that lead and not allow the momentum to shift back to Houston Christian.
Wembley on the run and just continues to slowly move the pile forward. That's a strong run. That's one of those where he got hit and 4 yards later he finally came down. So third down coming up in 1.
And I said it in the first half, both teams. If both of these offenses are comfortable in third and short. Third and short is where they can run anything they want in their third down packages. It's when you get in third and long and it takes away some of the plays that you would want to run for both offenses.
3rd and 1 coming up, ball on the 40. Oh, that might be a false start. No whistle though on the carry. It's Wembley breaking out left side, crossing the 50, gets all the way up to the 46. First down for the Lumberjacks.
And just so I think it is some laundry on the field.
Was there a flag? I didn't know if I saw it or not.
I think that's one on the far end unless it fell out of a.
Yeah, you're right. Let's see what the. I think we've missed the call from the official, but it looks like whatever the penalty was, it's going to be going against the Huskies.
But just in space, Wembley is all these running backs. You got some powerful backs, but Wembley, he is good in space and making defenders miss and getting extra chunk yardage.
Getting word that it was a face mask on the penalty. Flag on the field on this play for sure. A big collision.
What a hit.
Between Wembley and Xavier Tolliver. Tolliver, the all-time interceptions leader for the Houston Christian Huskies. He came up with a big hit on Wembley there. Flag is on the play.
Offside. Number 9 defense. 5-yard penalty from previous spot. Repeat. First down.
Appreciate our referee Craig Helser filling us in here this evening. 1st and 5 coming up for the Lumberjacks. 24-6. And I'm just saying, now you're seeing the play clock get down to 10-9, and Stephen F. Austin trying to, milk it just a little bit more. Vidlac looking to make a pass. It throws it behind Kylan Harris.
That one to Kylan Harris would have had to have been the perfect pass because he was throwing it where he was basically 3 guys right there where they could possibly get their hands on that football. It had to be the perfect pass, but he threw it behind him, which probably was the best place to throw it because if he would have threw it in front of him, that could have been either a bad collision or a turnover for Vidlac.
2nd down coming up now as Houston Christian has one of the second best passing defense, I believe, in the Southland, or at least when it comes to interception-wise.
No, they're in the upper half as well for pass defense in general as well. So they're very efficient on that back end. It's just sometimes, but the good thing for them is in that first half, their run defense rose to the occasion to meet the expectation of what they have on the back end and what this season.
3rd and 6, blitz shown from the Huskies, and Vidlac going to take his time now. Snap, Vidlac looking to his right, curl route, pass is complete. A little dancing, a little salsa move going on over there on the right side for Isaiah Davis. He gets the first down, chains will move, and he had plenty of time. I mean, there was plenty of space and a little bit of time for Davis to try to decide what he was wanting to do there. Take a look at the replay here.
And you see Vidlac getting the ball out quick to Davis on the quick hitch route, and Davis trying to make a move, but just not a lot of space for him to get around the defender. The UTSA transfer for Stephen F. Austin.
1st and 10. Vidlac looking for his receiver, and that was more of a little bit of pressure underway, and might as well throw it into the vicinity of his receiver, Neighbors. But Neighbors was stopped pretty early on. That was good coverage from the safety for the Huskies.
Yeah, just nothing there underneath. It was a long developing crossing in routes for the offense, and just Vidlac just took a chance with the deep route and just throwing it to only where the receiver can get it, or it went out of bounds like it did.
I see Davis lined up over here, closest to us here on the near side of the field. I wonder if he's going to give us a part 2 of that salsa lesson. Wouldn't mind to learn it. Vidlac in the pocket, looking to his left, finds Wembley. Wembley getting ahead for a yard. Be 3rd down and 9. The defense collapsing well and covering the far side of the field. That play was intended to go to the right side. The check down at the end was where he had to find Gerald Wembley.
And that was Braden Hay, the 6'2", 200-pound linebacker from Katy for Houston Christian. And last week again, they had a bye week,
yeah.
But the week before against Southeastern Louisiana, he had a career high in tackles and 16 total tackles in that game. So he's a big-time linebacker for Houston Christian.
3rd down and 9. Vidlac. Oh, he has Harris. Let's see if he finds him. He does. Up in the end zone. Is it caught? Complete. Touchdown. SFA.
Vidlac and Harris just pitching catches, finding a vulnerability in the zone for Houston Christian, and Vidlac put it on him, and Harris did a great job of bringing that ball down with the defender on his back and laying the lumber.
Harris now 6 touchdowns on the season. He entered the night number 2 in the Southland Conference and number 20 in all of FCS. Last game he had plenty of receptions and yards, just no touchdowns. 13 receptions with 116 yards. Campos set for the extra point. Kick is up. Kick is good. And we kick it to a break. 31-6 your score. We'll be right back here from Homer Bryce Stadium after a moment. Jacob Hand set to do the kicking off here in the 3rd quarter. 10:48 to go. The score 31-6. Stephen F. Austin leading over the Houston Christian Huskies. And the offense just kind of picking up where it left off in that 2nd quarter for Stephen F. Austin. Kick is received at the 4-yard line. It will be returned in a slip, and that's going to be not great field position.
Turf Monster got him.
Turf Monster got him on that one on the return. It was, I don't believe that was actually C.J. Rogers. It was the other number 12, Yasir Aliden. Stephen F. Austin's defense has been very active, very alert, very swarming here as well, as they are out here with a 31-6 lead, and they would love to hold this Houston Christian team to no touchdowns. I mean, that would be the bar that they're living up to here in the 2nd half.
Yeah, absolutely.
So 1st and 10. Rogers will take the snap and hand it off.
Man, getting back there in a hurry, Josiah Cotton.
Yeah, Darrell Evans came into this game with really great numbers overall, but so far in this one he has been very, very limited as far as what's happening. 6 attempts for 14 yards. His long run of the day is 4 yards. He averaged 5.8 coming into this one. So 2nd down and 13. They'll fake the handoff. Rogers stepping up. He is stripped and goes down. Wow.
Just the pressure from this defensive line for Stephen F. Austin. He had a crease there to step up in the pocket and make a play, but that pressure, it can cause things like that, to lose your footing in tight quarters.
But that crease doesn't look so good whenever there's still a linebacker waiting for you.
Yeah, no doubt.
If you were to take off and run, I think that's the difference between really the 1st quarter and the 2nd quarter. In the 1st quarter, that extra linebacker wasn't there to help contain the quarterback. So
yeah, they're spying him for sure.
For sure. 3rd down and 17. Rogers backed up in his own end zone. He'll be wrapped up. Will not be a safety, but brought down either the 2 or 3 yard line, depending on the spot.
And now it's Aaron Austin, but the first one there was Ed Bobineau. It was that same crease there, but that big paw of Ed Bobineau got his hands on him first.
He almost ripped it out of there, too. He was hungry for it. The punt squad coming out for the Huskies, and they will be punting from the very back of the end zone here. I hope it's not a missed snap. It's going to hit our cameraman. Out to do the punting, Reed Chandley. He's had some good ones tonight. That punt does get away.
It's going to have opportunity.
Trayshawn Adams back to return it for the Lumberjacks. Up to the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Trying to look for a block. Gets by it. 10, 5, touchdown. Trayshawn Adams and touchdown Lumberjacks.
Man, just missed tackles by Houston Christian, but great job by Trayshawn Adams. Just like we'll see here on the replay eventually, just making a play out of nothing. Just at first have an opportunity to return it, breaking two tackles there, and cutting backfield. The worst thing for a defense is for the offensive player to cut back, and it's just a wide open cutback lane for Adams, and he takes it into the end zone for the Lumberjacks.
All the way there. Extra point coming up here in just a moment. Extra point coming from Campos. The score now 38-6. Well, Courtney, the offense is right back to it. We do have a timeout here. We'll take it with them here on ESPN Plus. Welcome back here. The score 38-6 here in the third quarter. 8:35 to go. Stephen F. Austin in control of this. So far, SFA has doubled up the Huskies on rush yards and then tripled up on the pass yards. Passing attack, 278 passing yards to 76 for the Huskies. And that was a predominant emphasis that they had in that first quarter and really the second as well. Just couldn't get a lot of rhythm going. And I know there's one chunk play in there. You take out that one, it's looking like a passing attack of under 50 so far through the game. The defense, though, for Stephen F. Austin, they're the ones setting up what has been a solid offense because the pressure, it's surrounding, it's swarming, and Houston Christian's having a pretty tough time with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're not able to establish the run, which is what their bread and butter is and what they want to do. And so now it's kind of just getting the ball out to the outside and the short passing game. But the thing about that in the first half, they couldn't execute on the short passing game, so they have to find something within their offense where they can execute at a high level.
And then just like that, it's a handoff on play number one of the drive. Brick Handler handing it off to his running back, Calvin Hill, and Hill got a rude greeting from the Stephen F. Austin defensive line on that one.
Man, both of those linebackers just pinning areas back, knowing that the passing attack for Houston Christian is non-existent here in the second half. So the linebacker core in that front seven can pin their ears back for SFA and go after the rusher.
Second down and 13. Brick Handler making the throw down the right sideline. A lot of contact, no flag. Strong defensive effort made by Stephen F. Austin's number 24, Kentrell Omar.
And Omar did a great job. It was a little hand fighting on both sides, but great job by Omar getting his head around and showing the official that he's going after the ball and not getting that pass interference call.
So third down coming up in a long situation. Houston Christian has struggled tonight on third down. 2 of 9 so far in third down situations. Brick Handler trying to make the pass. That time, that'll be a third conversion on third down.
Credit to Brick Handler because it was a defender underneath that had almost had his paws on an interception.
Evan Stein right there to make the reception as well.
Did a great job of threading the needle and getting the first down for Houston Christian.
1st and 10, handoff going to Hill. Hill.
That's a bit better run for
3.5 yards on it
for the offense.
Yeah, go for it.
That was a bit better run and getting some positive yards. they don't have to get a first down rushing the ball every single time. They just want to get positive yardage and get to that 3rd and short to where they can open up their playbook and open up the pass, or even going back to the run on 3rd and short. So
2nd down and about 7 to go. Greg Handler looking to his right, fakes the pass, now steps up and run. That's where he's been honestly most effective tonight, is the drop back pass being incredible, and then he'll take off and run. He does maybe gain maybe 2 on the play, maybe 3. 3rd down and 4 coming up.
And you're in that 3rd and manageable area, 3rd and 5 and below. So now it's just about executing and getting the first down. You want to get positive yards until you can get into these 3rd and short situations to where your offense can execute and get a first down.
Courtney, when you look at the 2 quarterbacks between Brick Handler and Rogers, what have you seen? What are you comparing it to? Looks like an option.
Oh man, what a hit!
Yeah. Coming in, making the hit for Stephen F. Austin. First time we've said his name tonight, Jermaine Brown, making his presence known. But the 2 quarterbacks, it's a 2-headed approach, 2 different styles of quarterback. What are you liking? What are you not liking from each quarterback?
I'd say overall, I think both quarterbacks have their moments in the passing attack.
Yep.
They both have their flaws, and they both can get out and run and make some plays with their feet. But I think both is just the execution overall of the offense and completing passes when you need them and give your receivers a chance. And so that's an area where both of them can also get better at, but also even when the offense is stalled out, using their legs a little bit more. And so I think both quarterbacks have some good plays and also some plays they want to have back.
6th punt of the game coming from the Huskies. There's the returner for Stephen F. Austin, is forced out of bounds. The returner on it once again, Cannon Lindbergh. We saw Adams get the punt return touchdown earlier. Did not get it on that one. So we have a break happening. We'll be back in a moment here on ESPN Plus. 5.5 minutes to go here in this 3rd quarter. Vidlac will take the snap and hand it off to Jenkins. Jenkins bouncing out wide the left side, has some space. 14-yard gain for Jalen Jenkins. Starts us off here on this next drive for Stephen F. Austin.
Great work by the offensive line for Stephen F. Austin on that stretch play and allowing Jenkins to eventually find a hole and a crease to burst out of there and make defenders miss again. He does a great job in space and making defenders miss and getting yards after contact.
1st and 10, Vidlac with 3 receivers to his right. Looks to make the quick out pass, finding Neighbors. Neighbors tiptoeing the sideline and will be forced out of bounds. I believe number 2, Samaje Brown on pursuit there. 2nd down and short coming up.
And the offense for Stephen F. Austin, they do a great job of dinking and dunking and taking what the defense gives them. And also, they can do that to you and lower you to sleep and then hit you with the big play over the top. And that's where it can get deadly for a defense.
So 2nd down and short. Really trying to draw them off sides. You get a free 1st down. However, now with a play clock at 8. He'll call it in, take his time, and here's the snap. Hand it off to the back, who will be brought down. I believe it's Jenkins on the carry, yes. He does get the 1st down. Jenkins now 13 carries on the evening for about 60 yards. No rushing touchdowns for Stephen F. Austin tonight. They have all came, 4 of them came via the air, 1 on special teams return. Back to the ground game one more time, and I think you will see Stephen F. Austin just try to milk play clock resets at 40 every run play, so they're going to try to just wind this one down.
Yeah, you have a pretty controlled lead if you're Stephen F. Austin, and they, like you said, they want to chip away at this clock and get out of here as injury-free as they can, because they've been dealing with a lot of injuries here lately.
So 2nd down and 6 coming up. Vidlac looking deep. Will air it out. Wayland! Oh my goodness!
That'd have been a highlight of the night.
Nearly made a top 10 catch on that one. I'd love to see it again. I know the team's about to pull. Take a look at how Wayland went airborne on this.
On the crossing route.
He's throwing it up. Look at this thing. So close, just on the way down. Slipped out of his hand. He almost had the catch of the year.
The catch heard around the country.
Yeah, no kidding on that one. That would have been something. 3rd down and 6. Wembley putting the man in motion from right to left. We'll hand it off to Jenkins. Jenkins trying to split through the gap. Only gets 3 yards after needing about 6. So 4th and short coming up. This might be go for it land just to try to stay in control of it. That's what the offense will show so far for Stephen F. Austin.
McGee on the side for the Huskies.
And here the offensive coordinator has it at his disposal what he can do. He can go with the quick passing game or he can go back to the run. So we'll see what Stephen F. Austin does here.
4th and 2. Vidlac take a low snap. We'll hand it off. Will they be able to get to the first down? There's a second effort that may have got him over.
He's close.
I think he did. Yes, they will move the chains. And I think, we mentioned a couple of times it is homecoming here tonight. I think Stephen F. Austin fans have to also realize that what they're seeing so far this season isn't always a normal thing. They haven't seen a close home game yet. When you look at their schedule, a North American win, 77-0. Against Northern Colorado, 48-7. Against Northwestern State, a conference opponent, 59-17. And this one so far, 38-6. Now listen, the 2 games you have coming up for the home stretch for the last 2,
they're going to be some barn burners.
There's some really great games, and so be ready for those. 1st and 10, Vidlac will hand off to Wembley. Wembley working to his left, finds a little bit of a gap, and
man, he just navigates in chaotic situations at a high level.
He really does. He was strong in that one.
Breaking tackles, making cuts, and just forcing his way to a first down.
So 1st down and 10 once again, another first down for the Stephen F. Austin offense.
But this just shows you how Stephen F. Austin comes out and protects home turf, and they're very, very comfortable in what they do here at home. And the only thing is you want to take that on the road, but it's always good when you can come out and take care of business at home.
21 first downs for SFA compared to 9 for Houston Christian. Vidlac through the air.
Wide
open. Defender on the ground. Whalen with his 2nd touchdown of the night. Clayton Whalen.
Another coverage bust and the defender falling on the coverage and just an easy pitch and catch from Vidlac to Whalen.
I think there's going to be a connection being formed right now between Vidlac and Whalen. Whenever you can say, hey, you've got 5 receptions this season and 2 of them were touchdowns, your quarterback tends to build a little more trust there.
Yeah, absolutely. Making plays like that and the plays that Whalen has made in this game so far. So, yeah, you're going to continue to earn that trust.
Campos out for another extra point. He's perfect tonight. Extra point is good. 1:09 to go here in this 3rd quarter. The score 45-6. We took you at halftime. We told you some score updates. We'll try to keep you updated here throughout the conference. The scores that are final: Lamar and Northwestern State matched up earlier. Lamar won 42-10. Texas A&M Commerce took a non-conference loss to Prairie View A&M 34-27. Nichols defeated McNeese 24-19. Nichols was the home team there in that one. And then obviously our game happening right now, 45-6. But the other game, the top 2 seeds in the conference, Incarnate Word and Southeastern Louisiana, they're in a tight one. 52 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter there. Incarnate Word leading 27-23. And Hand getting ready to do the kicking off here. So right in the middle of conference play. And the kick from Hand. High end over end. Will not be returned. It'll be another touchback here tonight. And the Stephen F. Austin defense and the Husky offense will trot back out one more time. And the pressure and the containment has been much better in this second half than what we saw in the first. It was first half we saw pressure, but there wasn't the additional layer of containing. Well, so far, Stephen F. Austin has had a lot of answers in the second half.
Yeah, you can tell the adjustments they made. They wanted to take away the entire rushing attack, whether it was with the running backs or with the quarterback scrambling or in the design quarterback. run. So the linebackers are doing a great job of IDing the play and what's happening and just firing off the ball.
3 wide receivers to the right for Brick Handler. Brick Handler make a quick curl route, pass complete over to receiver to the tight end Drake Martinez, who was actually lined up in that short slot.
And that's what can negate the pinning your ears back for SFA with the Houston Christian going with the quick passing game and executing that at a high level.
Brick Handler going right back to Martinez, back-to-back plays.
What a hit.
What a hit. On the tackle. I mean, on the collision, really, not
Dylan Tooker.
Yeah, Dylan Tooker. And boom. You see huge collision there, but first down, though, for the Huskies. Trying to make a drive out of this thing here with 21 seconds to go in the third quarter. Brick Handler looking to his right, throwing, and once again, that is like the 4th player we've seen slip for this Husky squad on this turf.
Well, the ball's thrown a little bit behind him, so he tried to go back and get it on the out route. But, yeah, it was a tight window there for the quarterback to fit it in. Tight window to fit it in. It was a window there, but, well.
It almost makes you wonder if maybe the spikes aren't long enough, whatever it might be on this turf.
Not sure.
Because there's been lots of slipping happening. Clock stopped at 16 seconds, 2nd and 10. Brick Handler under a ton of pressure.
Oh, man, he's going down.
Sacked. On the sack for Stephen F. Austin, Jawolte Jerkin. And that'll wrap up the third quarter here. Once again, a lot of scoring happening for Stephen F. Austin. 21 points in the second, 21 points in the third. We'll come back with a fourth quarter moment here on ESPN+. Welcome back here. Fourth quarter getting underway. 45-6 your score. Stephen F. Austin's really opened up the lead here between the second and third quarter. 21 points apiece in both quarters, and a huge tackle to start off the first defensive play for the Lumberjacks here in the fourth quarter. Dylan Tooker, once again, he's had a couple of big-time collisions.
And I'll tell you, like you were just saying, big collision. I'll tell you what, he has a knack for laying a lumber. Every tackle that I've seen from him that I can view right now has been a hard textbook hit. And so he's a big-time player for this Lumberjack defense.
Reed Chanley, the punter, coming out. 7th punt of the game. He's averaged 44.2 yards so far tonight. Lindbergh back for the return. Faked that he was going left, now hesitates, and now he comes up the left sideline. That's a lot of running for maybe what would be a 14-yard gain.
It's a horse collar tackle.
Yeah, horse collar tackle. Flag is down on the field. And officials and coach is going to hurry over to it to make sure nothing else escalates here, because now what you're looking at is anything, if anything bad, unfortunate were to happen, any ejections kind of thing, that just doesn't affect this game. It affects the next one as well.
Right.
So we'll get word from the official here in a moment. The back judge obviously letting the flag fly.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, number 31 kicking team, 15-yard penalty on the run, automatic, first down.
Once again, our referee, Craig Helser, letting us know here tonight what's going on there. The SFA offense out, and going to see a few new different guys here working the offense. Rutherford will be taking the snap. He'll hand off to Jenkins. Jenkins has a lot of space over on the right side. A huge run. He spins and almost, if he keeps his feet, he's to the house.
And it's always fun when you have a fellow running back in Wembley leading the charge of blocking. But there's some laundry on the field, a flag on the play. But you see Wembley leading the charge, getting a key block, and Jenkins just spinning off and having an opportunity to break that tackle and take it to the house.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 32 defense for removing his helmet. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down. That's number 32's first unsportsmanlike of the game.
Well, that takes a big run and makes it bigger on that one. 15 more yards for Stephen F. Austin.
Right, and if you're Houston Christian, it's defense. You just want to keep your composure. because it's only going to carry over. You want to put up a fight here in the fourth quarter, and your keys right now is to keep this Stephen F. Austin offense out of the end zone.
Jenkins now knocking on the door of 100 yards rushing tonight. 17 attempts for 94 yards. Runs over to the left side, has a little bit of daylight. He's at the 100-yard mark, I believe now 102 on that carry. As it'll be a first and goal situation for Stephen F. Austin.
That's a player down for Houston Christian. As you see here, Jenkins just following his blockers and making a move, stiff arming the defenders, two defenders for Houston Christian, but the last one just caught his legs on that one. So
yeah, Samaje Brown held on for dear life on that jersey too, just being able to slow down Jenkins on the run. And it's actually Brown that's down right now, being tended to by the trainer. As they're tending to him, we're going to take a 60-second break here. We'll be right back in a moment from Homer Bryce. Brown able to walk off under his own strength there. First and goal for Stephen F. Austin. 45 points scored tonight through 3 quarters. 21 in the third, 21 in the second, 3 in the first. Rutherford will take the snap with Jenkins to his right. Looking over to the right side, back shoulder fade.
Yes, pass interference.
Pass interference will be called
Just
against number 14 of Houston Christian. That is Kari Crump.
Crump just had his hands on for a little bit early.
So they get the replay first down here. Put the ball. And the ball goes to the 1 here. Jenkins is like, keep me in the game, coach. I got 100 yards. Let me get a touchdown to go with it. We'll hear it in just a second from the official.
Still in discussion.
Stephen F. Austin still letting obviously a lot of time go in between snaps, but right now with the penalty yards and the chunk plays, killing.
There are fouls on both teams.
Oh wow!
Pass interference, defense.
Well, we got one of the penalties. We'll get the next one here in just a second.
Personal foul, face mask, defense. That pen is declined. The pass interference is enforced. Ball be placed to the 2-yard line.
So
after the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 77, offense. 15-yard penalty will be enforced. That's number 77's first unsportsmanlike of the game. It will be first down for SFA.
So Jamin Lamb, the one called for the unsportsmanlike after the play. And the unsportsmanlike will
move them back.
We'll bring it back to what the 17-yard line. So first and goal from the 17, never what an offense dreams of, that's for sure. Not too long ago, I did see a first and goal from the 35. Jenkins on the carry, they were completely sold out to stop the run on that one. Good job by the defense to swallow up and limit Jenkins from getting ahead really at all. Lamb's back out after the penalty, so second down and goal from the 16. Rutherford will pitch it to his right. Jenkins getting the carry will be brought down after a gain of 5 on the play.
Great pursuit by Houston Christian, because that outside run for SFA has been deadly in this attack. And Houston Christian stopping it, but great stop there by Houston Christian and shutting down the outside run and forcing a third and
third goal.
Third
from the 12.
From the 12.
So Jenkins trying to shrug one off, but no, getting in the backfield, making the tackle. Excellent job by Joe Cadet.
And Cadet, that's back-to-back tackles for Cadet.
6'4", 238, getting in the backfield really, really quick.
And he has 28 tackles and 8 solo tackles and 1 tackle for loss, 6 quarterback hurries on the year for Cadet.
So here comes Campos. Out for another field goal for him. The hold is down, kick is up. It is good.
Just automatic.
This, I mean, just about as consistent as they come, honestly, here at Stephen F. Austin. We got a break. 11-11. What a perfect time to take a break here. Make a wish, everybody. 48-6 here from Homer Bryce. We'll be back in a moment. And welcome back here for kickoff coming from Jacob Hand. Another touchback here this evening. Well, Courtney, the defense has been solid for Stephen F. Austin. The offense has been struggling to really get any kind of yardage going on for Houston Christian. What do you think they can be looking for here in the fourth quarter?
Well, now it's just to get a sustain a drive for Houston Christian on offense and try to get some points on the board. They haven't scored here in the second half, and I think a big thing for them is just getting across the 50 and giving their kicker or their offense a chance to get a touchdown or a field goal and get some points on the board.
So,
oh man, he took
Rick Handler just got rocked. Who was that on the hit? Travion Sneed, I believe. Let's see.
Just an unaccounted for rusher and just, man, just
I mean, from the blind side
and laying the lumber.
Boy. And that's actually a different quarterback in now. Cutter Stewart in at quarterback. We haven't seen him in 3 games, and he's back in. How's that for a first play back? After 3 games of...
That's what you expect from Stephen F. Austin. You see a new quarterback and it hasn't been in all game. You're going to send... I would send it. I would send a blitz and introduce him to the game like Stephen F. Austin did right there. So
3rd down and 8.
He's going to have to make a play here on 3rd and long.
So 3rd and 8. Stewart looking for the out route to the receiver.
It was open, just...
Calvin Wiggins was the intended guy on the play.
It was open, just lack of execution there and giving your receiver a chance to make a play on the ball.
So 4th down and 8 coming up, and another punt. Punt number 8 coming up for Houston Christian. A pretty good average here tonight. 45 yards per punt. And the punt is away.
Short punt.
Received by Stephen F. Austin about the 37. He'll push ahead to the 43-yard line. Once again, Lindbergh on the return. So 10:20 on the clock. Pending the home run play, which always is a threat with this SFA offense. I expect that you're going to see... I don't think you'll see Houston Christian get the ball back with more than 5 minutes on the clock to go.
Support our student athletes and join today.
We're going to a break here. The score 48-6. We'll be back in a moment here from Homer Bryce. Welcome back. It's 1st down for Stephen F. Austin. All about getting this one over, getting out of here healthy. Rutherford will take the snap and hand it off. On the carry, it's Chris Martinez, and Coach Carthel mentioned to us and talking this week that we probably get to see a little bit of Martinez. I don't think this was the situation that he was thinking it might be, but it's definitely there for him.
Yeah, the 5'11", 195 freshman from Red Oak, Texas. Yeah,
we said earlier that Coach Carthel does a really good job recruiting, especially within the state. 95 of the guys here, including the transfers, are from Texas high schools. So you're Stephen F. Austin, you're smaller school, FCS school, you got to be able to recruit your state well, and
right.
Coach Carthel and the team doing a really good job at that. Martinez gets another carry here. pushing forward, just keeps the legs moving. I believe he's 1 yard short of a first down.
Just bouncing off of defenders.
Yeah, it'll be 3rd down and 1 coming up.
Expect a heavy dose of the run, and SFA just chewing away at this clock and securing this victory, this conference victory.
So 3rd and 1 as game clock now at 9 minutes and 5 seconds. Play clock at 10. Rutherford. That's going to be a false start. Movement over there. The SFA offensive line. That's kind of expected a little bit.
False start. 61 offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So Jason Crowder, the guilty party in that false start. If anything, though, it takes off more time actually from.
Right. Just.
I mean, it's a little 25 seconds clock running, 48-6. Rutherford swinging out to his right.
Wide open.
Martinez wide open, advancing down the field. Another first down for Stephen F. Austin.
And just nobody accounted for the running back out of the backfield. Martinez. Everything flowing to the left, and Martinez sneaking out to the right with the swing pass and getting some big yardage for Stephen F. Austin.
First and 10. Rutherford hands it off to Martinez again, working to the right. He'll gain forward for a 2 on this one. And hopefully this is the kind of game that, honestly, if you're Coach Garthel and his staff, you got quite a few injuries that you're trying to nurse up. And so being able to pull your starters, towards the end of the 3rd quarter and obviously all the 4th, let them get healthy, give another week for everybody else to get healthy. And you've got, next week, every game is important. You mentioned earlier that Nichols game is so important because you haven't won in Louisiana yet. It's one of those things that you haven't played well out of state. You've got to, if you want to stay in contention for a playoff berth to be considered, you got to keep winning. That's a really important situation here for SFA. Martinez once again on the carry. He's getting a lot of work here in this fourth quarter. He's supposed to eat up a lot of possessions, and like I said earlier, if there's any extracurriculars, if you're Stephen F. Austin, you got to back out quickly.
And you see Martinez here just finding an open hole that the offensive line's creating for him, and and he's done a great job. He's come in and late in the fourth quarter and has been able to get positive chunk yardage for this Stephen F. Austin offense.
Four rushes so far for Martinez for 16 yards. His long yard being 9 so far tonight. 3rd down and short. Rutherford. You know what? Said it a couple times. Martinez now trying to break one out. That is his longest run of the day. First down for Stephen F. Austin. It will be, oh wow, it's going to be right on the line. We'll see if they make it 1st and goal or 1st and 10 with basically either way you go, it's going to be 1st. Yeah, it'll be 1st and goal. Mark it directly on the 10-yard line. So clock running. Now it's 6 minutes.
New running back checking in for Stephen F. Austin. I think that's Benson.
Yeah, Diego Benson. Carthos excited about him. He's a freshman as well. That Rutherford dropping back to actually make a pass here. Wow.
Oh, man, what a throw.
Oh, they're going to say he was out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Oh, man.
I'd love to see that one again if we've got it.
Great throw. It just was not able to keep those feet in bounds.
Derek Bowler.
Yeah, he stepped.
Yeah, his obviously the angle, we don't get to see the height from what we had there. I didn't know if we had anything that was a higher view, but I know his Bowler's foot. I don't know if we can see it from the high end zone or not, but take a glance at it after this play possibly. But 2nd down and goal. Rutherford.
Oh,
wow.
he's going to walk in.
Trick the entire stadium. Rutherford to the end zone, the rushing touchdown. The first rushing touchdown of the night for Stephen F. Austin.
And you got to give credit to Martinez just pounding and pounding and pounding this Houston Christian defense. And it allows you to do that. They're pursuing the run, and the quarterback just pulled it and just walked into the end zone.
100%. So score 54-6. Campos out for the extra point again. Campos, extra point, good. 55-6. As we take a break here from Homer Bryce. 5:41 to go in this fourth quarter. Stephen F. Austin, a dominating performance tonight here against their Southland Conference opponent. We'll be back in a moment. Martinez did a great job setting up that last drive with just a run after run after run. And then this was the pass that we were like, is it close? Is it close? It's very, very close. Derek Bowler on the reception. Man, that was close. The kickoff coming here. Like I said, you don't have time to dissect it and take a look at it. But that was a close one. He made a heck of an effort on it. The return coming from Brown for the Huskies, and a decent return as they'll start this drive off. Let's see, it's going to be marked down to the 28, thought about 29, maybe 28. 5:37 to go, 55-6. This is just kind of SFA living up to what their numbers have been this season. High-powered offense, high-powered offense, and a suffocating defense.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just an overall amazing performance by Stephen F. Austin coming out after a loss against Southeastern Louisiana and coming back home and putting it to a team in Houston Christian that beat a team that beat you. So, I mean, you don't want to use transitive property, but but Stephen F. Austin, you got to give them credit. They came out, the coaching staff had these guys ready with some guys down in their lineup on both sides of the ball, and they came to play overall.
Jesse Valenzuela, the running back in for the Huskies, got that last carry. Has one touchdown this season, 190 yards, averages 4.3 a carry. But what you mean is that Houston Christian beat the team that you lost to. They beat McNeese. We lost to McNeese, and so I say we SFA lost to McNeese in that one. So you have to, right now you're on a revenge tour. The rest of the conference, you got to be playing hard, playing everything you got. Second down and 8.
Right.
Valenzuela will get the carry one more time after being out wide initially. They motioned him in.
Oh, man.
And then once again, the defense just fine. Even second string is in here.
They're
really
playing
making
fast.
hits. Yeah, playing super quick. Hollis Robinson came in to safety to make that tackle.
Yeah, you could tell some of those guys that are coming in and wanting to make a play and get their opportunity. So this is actually how you get more playing time moving forward.
Because you know who doesn't care about that score right now? The 22 guys on the field, or at least the 11 defensive guys on the field right now. They don't care about that score in particular.
Right.
They're saying, this is a moment for me to get out there and play and do my job and maybe earn some more playing time down the road. Third down and long here, 3rd and 7. Pass, is it complete? Wow,
catch.
I think that was a one-hand grab. There was a lot of contact on that. Love to see it. Great reception from Houston Christian's number 7, Colin Sullivan. And it was a little play action.
Oh, no.
It was too, but man, it was just a perfectly thrown ball.
Yeah.
Cutter Stewart.
The transfer for Purdue for Houston Christian and Sullivan.
And Stewart making the pass, and it's a first down for the Huskies with 3:40 to go. Handoff going to be running out to the right side. And once again, Courtney, the turf monster, just acting up there on that one. Tripping up the back. Let's see on the carry for that one. I didn't actually get to see a jersey number on that. I thought it was Valenzuela. It may have been. Game clock down to 3 minutes to go here on homecoming weekend for the Lumberjacks. Stewart taking the snap and immediately running, and that was almost a decapitating hit.
And, they're going to probably call a flag is out there, so let's see what they go with this call.
I'd love to see
the replay.
Yeah.
Because he came through like a missile trying to attack the quarterback on the run play.
Yeah.
Just design quarterback run and just, man.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, late hit on sliding quarterback, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
So on the penalty for SFA, Daniel Anai.
And that was pretty bang play from the review, but you know it's happening in full speed, and the officials just trying to protect the quarterback in that situation.
And honestly, it could have been worse.
Yeah, absolutely could have been worse.
It could have been worse. You went with unnecessary roughness, which I haven't seen on a slide a whole lot. Because typically when it's a slide, it's typically targeting that's on the call. But
it was a pretty late slide from when he started to dive into him. So yeah, it could have been worse. But
Valenzuela won't get a ton of yards there, maybe 18 inches. Second down coming up in 10.
2-minute timeout.
We have the 2-minute timeout happening here at Homer Bryce. 55-6 the score. We'll be back in a moment here on ESPN Plus. Welcome back from the 2-minute timeout. First play out of the break is a pass that should have been intercepted. Went right through the hands of two defenders.
They both went for it. I think if one, like they say in baseball, you got to call him off. but both of them doing a great job, showing effort, going after the interception. But the ball fell in between both of them, so nobody was able to bring that one down.
Hollis Robinson, Jalen
that one
Hunter.
was just dropped. Now you see the replay. That was just dropped.
Yeah,
by the corner.
It just should have been there for Jalen Hunter. He had a chance to get him a nice stat on that one.
And you know the sideline for Stephen F. Foster would have erupted on that interception.
Sure. I mean, when do they not erupt? They are one of the most energetic sidelines we've seen. But I guess when you're winning, by a lot, and the defense still has to come out. And they're still hungry to say, hey, we didn't allow a touchdown this game. That's always a huge deal. 3rd down and long here for the Huskies. Stewart airing this one out. And it's going to be pass interference.
Yeah.
Pass interference going to be against SFA's Kentrell Omar.
Pass interference, number 24 defense. 15-yard penalty the previous spot. Automatic first down.
So 15 yards from the previous spot. We'll let the Huskies get a little bit closer to the end zone. Coach Carthel really upset with that one. First and 10 from the 20. Cutter Stewart directing traffic. He'll work with 2 wide receivers to his right, 2 tight ends on the play as well. Valenzuela in motion. Valenzuela will get the carry, working out to the outside, looking for a block. He gets one block, not the second, but he does get a 7-yard gain. 2nd down and 2 coming up.
Great run, and I think the big thing right now is getting some points on the board. Preferably a touchdown for Houston Christian to lead this game with something positive moving into next week.
So game clock trickling down here. Almost at 60 seconds. 2nd one, Stewart on the run. He's met and tripped up an ankle.
Tackle.
Yeah, shoestring tackle. I was going to say an ankle grabbing tackle, but a shoestring tackle made on the play by Caden Turner. 6'2", 250, the freshman from Waco. Connolly High School.
A very, very well-known high school in the Waco area in the 4A ranks.
Oh, for sure. A lot of memories against them. third and short. Stewart again on the carry, trying to keep it himself and get the first down. Will he get the first down? Yes, he will. They'll make it first and goal. As soon as the ball is spotted, they can run the clock here. 30 seconds to play. You got 20 seconds here to hold it up for the Stephen F. Austin defense. 55-6. Stewart dropping back to pass, looking for the quick slant. Pass complete. Over to number 5, Calvin Wiggins.
Great pitch and catch right there.
And that'll be the ball game. That'll be it. The cannon's off. Homecoming success for Stephen F. Austin here on Homecoming 2024. Final score of 55-6. Both of these teams next week going on the road. Next week, Houston Christian goes to Incarnate Word, while Stephen F. Austin goes. I'm drawing a blank, Courtney. We're going to Nichols next week.
They're going to Nichols.
Apologize. It's been a night, but man, what a good night. After a first quarter that really seemed close, and it was chippy and it was aggressive defensively, Courtney. What we saw in the first quarter is not what we saw the next three.
Yeah, and I think it was just the adjustments by Stephen F. Austin and just absolutely taking away the rushing attack. And once the rushing attack is gone from the Houston Christian offense, it just stifles and stalemates their offense to where they're not able to run it efficiently. So credit to Stephen F. Austin, that defensive staff, and also the offense was putting up some points, especially even the special teams for Stephen F. Austin getting some points in that second half. So just a well-rounded game, bouncing back from a devastating loss to Southeastern on the road. So great win for Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah, for a team that's got 2 conference losses, but by a total of 5 points, this one has to feel pretty good coming back here at home. The next home game for Stephen F. Austin, they will be playing host to Incarnate Word. That is going to be a ball game. But thanks so much for hanging with us here tonight here at Homer Bryce. Thanks to all of our technical crew behind the scenes helping make this one happen here from Homer Bryce, our producer Jay Garcia, and for Courtney Garcia, I'm Chris Simmons saying so long from Nacogdoches, where the final score is 55-6 in favor of the Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.